If you chase a woman, she cools down. If you don't chase, nothing happens. So where's the truth? Because in the real world, most women don't run after men. Yet the moment you start running after them, you lose leverage. So the real question isn't, should I chase or not? The real question is, how do you shift the dynamic so she begins moving toward you without even realizing when it happened? That's what this video is about. Machiavelli said something most people overlook. Power is not taken by force. It is shaped by understanding. And today, I'll show you the psychology almost no one teaches, the lie you were raised with. From a young age, you probably heard the same advice on repeat. Don't chase women. Let them chase you. It sounds confident. It sounds dominant. It feels like a universal rule. But the moment you step into real life, the rule collapses. When you stay completely passive, nothing progresses. No connection forms. No spark ignites. And when you step forward and show interest, something else happens. The energy shifts. The excitement leaks away. The balance breaks. So where is the truth hiding? It isn't in chasing or not chasing. It's in how you move toward someone. There are two forces that pull a person closer. The first comes from the mind. This is where people calculate, compare, and evaluate. They think in terms of benefits, comfort, logic, and safety. The second comes from emotion. This is where curiosity lives, where tension forms, where desire grows without explanation. This is where attraction is born. Most men never learn to separate these two worlds. They speak to logic when they should be creating feeling. They offer availability when they should be projecting presence. They try to be chosen instead of becoming someone who is felt. And when that happens, the outcome is predictable. You either become invisible, the man who's easy to overlook, or you become useful, the man kept around for convenience, not desire. Understanding this split is the first real step. Because once you see the difference between being noticed and being felt, you stop playing the old game and start reshaping the entire dynamic. Now let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I met a man who owned 3 large restaurants. Money, status, influence. Women were always around him, messages, calls, invitations, attention everywhere. I remember thinking, this guy understands attraction. But the truth surprised me. Despite everything he had, most women didn't desire him. They hovered, but they didn't invest. They stayed, but they didn't lean in. Why? Because he was engaging them logically, not emotionally. He chased without moving. He offered value without tension. He was impressive, but not felt. And that's the trap. Attraction doesn't grow when you pursue approval. It grows when your presence creates a psychological pull. Not by chasing. Not by disappearing. But by standing in a way that makes her curiosity walk toward you on its own. That's the game most men never learn. One night, after a few drinks, he said something I never forgot. He looked at me and said, I feel like a walking ATM. When the money stops, the affection stops. That was the moment everything became clear. Those women weren't moving toward him. They were moving toward what he could provide. This is what I call the logical chase. Her mind runs the numbers. Life feels easier with this man. More comfort, more access, more advantage. But here's the hidden flaw. The moment someone better appears, more money, more influence, more status, the door is already half open. That kind of interest is fragile. It never feels secure. And it never feels real. Now we step into the second path. The one Machiavelli would quietly respect. The emotional chase. This path doesn't live in reason. It lives in sensation. When a woman is drawn to you emotionally, it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like a pull. There's no internal debate. No list of pros and cons. She doesn't think, I should reach out. She catches herself already doing it. Your presence starts to feel familiar, almost necessary. Not in the mind, in the body. You become linked to a certain state, a mood, a feeling of being more awake, more alive. And this part matters more than anything else. These reactions don't come from clever words or perfect timing. They grow from shared moments, from tension, from silence, from laughter, from memory. Emotion isn't triggered by explanation. It's shaped by experience, and once that connection forms, it doesn't sit lightly. It settles deep, where logic struggles to reach. Let me make this simple. Imagine a friend offers you a cigarette. You try it. It's fine. You don't think much of it. A few days later, he offers you another. Then another after that. Slowly, something shifts. You notice when he enters the room. You look for him without thinking. One day you're the one who asks, "Do you have one?" And he smiles and says, "Not for free anymore." Think about what just happened. At first, it was just a gift. Then it became something you wanted. And finally, something you were willing to give back for. This is how attraction often forms. In the beginning, someone offers a little time, attention, presence. It feels light. It feels easy. But as those moments repeat, they start to carry weight. You look forward to them. You miss them when they're gone. You start to care. And now, an emotional bond exists. So the exchange is no longer about money or things. It's about feeling. And once someone associates you with a feeling they don't want to lose, they begin moving toward you. Not because they decided to, but because something inside them already has. It's about feeling. The real currency becomes attention, emotion, presence, connection. Machiavelli understood this kind of power deeply. He knew real influence doesn't come from pushing people. It doesn't come from pressure or force. It comes from shaping what they slowly begin to want. When someone starts looking for your presence, your words, your time, that's when attraction becomes real. Not because you demanded it, but because it grew quietly inside them, step by step. Now here's where most men lose the game. The moment they sense interest, they collapse all distance. Every morning starts with a message. Every night ends with one. Every quiet moment gets filled with, "What are you doing? How was your day?" They become always available, always online, always waiting. At first, it feels like care, like effort. But over time, something shifts. The excitement fades, and they don't understand why. Here's the simple truth. When something is always there, the mind stops noticing it. When something comes and goes, the mind pays attention. Think of a song you love. Play it all day, every day, and it becomes background noise. Hear it once in a while, and it feels special again. Connection works the same way. Mystery isn't about being confusing. It isn't about manipulation or games. It's about space. Space to miss you. Space to think about you. Space to wonder what you're doing when you're not there. And when space exists, curiosity grows. Curiosity keeps interest alive. This doesn't mean being cold. It doesn't mean ignoring her. It means your life doesn't stop when she appears. Your time still matters. Your goals still matter. Your world doesn't shrink to one person. When she feels that you choose to talk to her, not that you're always waiting. Your presence carries weight. You're not a habit. You're a moment. And moments, when they aren't unlimited, become meaningful. So remember this: closeness is built with warmth, but attraction is sustained with balance. Stay kind. Stay open. But always leave a little room for her to step toward you. Now let's slow this down and look at two very different men. The first is the chaser. He moves from need. He waits for permission before acting. He overthinks every word, afraid it might push someone away. When he feels distance, he explains himself. When he feels silence, it consumes him. Deep down, he's trying to prove that he's enough. And because of that, his energy is always reaching upward, seeking approval, seeking reassurance, seeking control he never truly has. And that energy is felt long before any words are spoken. He is reaching. He is hoping. He is reshaping himself to be accepted. And without realizing it, he places himself beneath the moment. Now look at the second man. This is the hunter. He doesn't move from hunger. He moves from direction. He knows what he wants, and he's clear about it, but he's not attached to the outcome. He doesn't chase a yes. He doesn't fear a no. If he's turned away, he doesn't collapse. He doesn't argue. He doesn't try to win someone back with explanations or words. He simply keeps moving forward in his own life. This is what Machiavelli would call inner authority. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not about control. It's about being grounded within yourself. The hunter doesn't need to convince anyone. His calm already communicates. When he enters a space, he doesn't search for where he fits. He brings his own frame with him. And people feel that difference, even if they can't explain why. One man waits to be chosen. The other lives as if he already chose himself. And that single shift quietly changes every interaction around him. Now let me tell you about a moment that made this real for me. I once met a man named Fernando. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't famous. He didn't look like a movie star. Yet wherever he went, women noticed him, not loudly, not theatrically. They simply felt at ease around him, curious, drawn in. One day, I finally asked him, "What's your secret?" He smiled and said one simple sentence. "The difference isn't in what I say. It's in how I ask." At first, I didn't understand, so he explained, "Most men speak like this. When are you free? Can we meet sometime? Let me know if you want to go out." Listen to the energy beneath those words. They sound uncertain. They sound like requests. They hand all authority to the other person. Fernando spoke differently. He would say, "Which day are you free this week? I want to take you somewhere you'll enjoy." Same intention, completely different energy. One way asks for permission. The other offers direction. One says, "Please choose me." The other says, "This is where I'm going. You're welcome to join." That subtle shift changes everything. It doesn't pressure. It doesn't force. It simply sets a frame. And people naturally respond to frames. When you speak with direction, your words carry weight. When you speak with uncertainty, your words seek approval. Fernando wasn't trying to impress. He wasn't trying to persuade. He was simply moving forward and inviting others into his path. And that is the quiet power most men never learn to use. He was simply clear about what he wanted and where he was going. And that clarity did more than confidence ever could. Because when you move with purpose, people don't just hear your words. They feel your direction. The power of scarcity. Here's where most men misunderstand attraction from the very beginning. They believe more messages create more desire. They think constant contact accelerates connection. But in reality, the opposite often happens. When something is always available, the mind stops registering it. It fades into the background. In the early stages, less contact can create more impact. Not to manipulate, not to play games, but to remain rare. Think of a quiet room. When everyone speaks at once, no voice stands out. But when silence falls, even the smallest sound commands attention. Attraction works the same way. When every other man is messaging all day, your absence becomes a signal. Not a signal of disinterest, a signal of difference. A hunter doesn't overwhelm. He doesn't rush. He doesn't try to fill every empty space. He shows up with intention, leaves a strong impression, then steps back into his own life. And that space does something powerful. It gives her time to think, time to feel, time to wonder. Curiosity grows when you're not there. Interest builds in the silence between moments. This isn't about disappearing. It's about balance, being present enough to be felt and absent enough to be remembered. When your presence isn't guaranteed, it becomes valuable. And when something feels valuable, the mind naturally leans toward it. That is the quiet strength of scarcity. The test. At some point, almost every woman will test you. It's rarely dramatic. A slower reply, a sudden busy, a cancelled plan, a tone that feels slightly colder. Most men assume this means rejection. Often, it doesn't. It's evaluation. On a deeper level, a silent question is being asked. What happens to this man when I pull back? Does he stay steady? Or does he unravel? Does his life continue? Or does it pause waiting for me? This is where most men lose their position. They panic. They send long explanations. They ask, did I do something wrong? They push harder, faster, louder. And without realizing it, they answer the question in the worst possible way. They reveal that their balance depends on her reaction. The hunter responds differently. He doesn't rush to fix the moment. He doesn't chase the silence. He doesn't try to manage her emotions. He stays anchored in his own life. He keeps moving toward his work, his goals, his plans, his purpose. His energy doesn't rise and fall with every message or delay. And that calm sends a message without a single word. It says, I am stable. I am moving. You are welcome to walk beside me, but I am not standing still. And that signal is felt immediately. I am stable. I am grounded. I don't disappear when things become uncertain. This kind of strength is rare. Most people react. Very few remain steady. And often, it's that steadiness that pulls her back. Not a clever message. Not a long explanation. But the quiet sense that this man stands firmly on his own feet. Because when someone feels that you are solid within yourself, they begin to lean toward you. Not from pressure, not from fear, but from respect. The first date shift. When you finally sit across from her, don't turn the moment into a checklist. Many men treat a first date like an interview. They collect information. They move mechanically from one safe question to the next. Work, family, hobbies, plans. There's nothing wrong with knowing these things. But facts don't create connection. Feelings do. Instead of focusing on what she does, pay attention to how she feels. Rather than asking, what do you do for work? Ask something that opens a memory. Ask, when was the last time you felt truly alive? That kind of question doesn't stay on the surface. It invites her inward. She may pause. She may smile. She may travel back to a moment only she knows. And when she does, you become part of that moment. This is how attraction forms. Emotions attach to experiences. Experiences attach to the people present within them. Create a moment that feels different, and it becomes memorable. Create a feeling that feels warm, exciting, or alive, and it lasts. She may forget what you said about your job. She may forget what you ordered. But she will remember how she felt sitting across from you. So don't try to impress with information. Don't sell yourself with stories. Be curious. Listen fully. Let her finish her thoughts. Follow the feeling, not just the words. Because when someone feels understood, they feel closer. And when they feel closer, they don't just remember the date. They remember you. The high point exit. There's a simple move most people never consider. It happens when the moment feels good. She's smiling. The conversation is flowing. The energy is light and warm. This is when most people try to stay longer. They push for one more laugh, one more story, one more minute. But here's the different approach. You leave while the moment is still strong, not abruptly, not coldly, just calm and natural. You might say, "Tonight was really nice. I'll see you soon." And then you go. Why does this matter? Because you don't let the moment fade. You don't wait for the energy to drop. You don't stretch it until it becomes ordinary. You end at the high point. Think of your favorite song, play it all day, and it loses its magic. Hear it once, then walk away, and it stays special. Moments work the same way. When you leave on a good feeling, that feeling stays with her. She replays the laughter, the look you gave, the way the night felt. And because it ended early, a quiet question remains. What would have happened if we stayed longer? That question creates curiosity, and curiosity keeps interest alive. This isn't about distance, it's about intention. You show that you enjoy the moment, and you show that your life doesn't pause for it. Your time has value. Your presence is a choice, not something unlimited. And when someone feels your presence is chosen, not automatic, it feels different. It feels meaningful. Sometimes the strongest move isn't staying longer. It's stepping away while the feeling is still warm. That way, when you meet again, the energy doesn't need to be rebuilt. It simply continues. When she starts investing, after some time, you'll notice a shift. She reaches out first. She sends messages without prompting, small updates about her day, photos, thoughts, moments she chooses to share. This is investment, and this is where most men make their biggest mistake. They see the attention and think, now I can relax. Now I can be fully available. So they reply instantly. They stay online. They rearrange their schedule. They make themselves constantly accessible. And slowly, without realizing it, they remove all mystery. Everything becomes predictable. And when something becomes predictable, the excitement fades. But the answer isn't to disappear. The answer is balance. You stay present, but not attached. You respond, but not like you're waiting. You engage, but your life keeps moving. Because attraction isn't sustained by availability. It's sustained by presence paired with self-direction. And that balance is what keeps interest alive long after the first spark. You show interest, but you keep your life moving. This is what it means to be selectively present. You don't disappear. You don't turn cold. You simply refuse to make one person the center of your entire world. Your time still has value. Your focus still belongs to your goals, your work, your direction. And when you choose to give her your attention, it feels intentional, not automatic. That difference matters more than most people realize. When someone feels your presence is something you offer, not something they can always expect, it carries weight. It doesn't create distance. It creates respect. She begins to feel that closeness with you is something special, not something guaranteed. And that feeling keeps the connection alive. Not because you pulled away, but because you stayed grounded in who you are while allowing her to step closer. That is how interest deepens into attachment. The real power. Most people think power means control. They imagine a man who commands, pushes, or dominates. But real power is much quieter. Machiavelli never taught strength through force. He taught strength through stability. A man with real power doesn't shake with every message. He doesn't rise with every compliment. He doesn't collapse with every cold reply. His emotions are steady. When something good happens, he enjoys it. When something doesn't go his way, he stays composed. That calm becomes his foundation. And this is where the real shift happens. People feel safe around someone who is steady. They trust someone who doesn't constantly react. They respect someone who doesn't lose himself in every moment. Think of it like this. In a storm, people reach for something solid, not something that moves with every gust of wind. A grounded man becomes that solid point. He listens without becoming defensive. He speaks without needing approval. He walks forward without needing to be followed. He doesn't chase emotions. He doesn't run from them either. He remains rooted in who he is. And that grounding creates a quiet kind of power. Not loud. Not showy. Not demanding. Just present. This is why people are drawn to him. Not because he tries to impress. Not because he tries to win. But because being near him feels calm, strong, and steady. And in a world where most people are constantly reacting, the man who can remain centered becomes rare. That rarity is what makes him powerful. Not through control of others, but through control of himself. Attraction doesn't grow when you chase. It grows when you move forward in your own life. A man with direction becomes a world. And a woman steps into that world. She doesn't replace it. If this shifted how you see the game, write this in the comments. I choose myself. And if you want more psychology, power dynamics, and a Machiavellian mindset for modern masculinity, subscribe. Because what's coming next isn't just about dating. It's about becoming a man who doesn't need to chase. Because gravity does the work for him.